Thomas and friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving Daddy.
The island also has lots and lots of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas! Hello, Thomas! Hello, everybody! Welcome to the island of Sodor. Today on the island of Sodor, we find out what happens when Henry doesn't feel very well. And we watch when Emily gets to pull the express. But first, Thomas has to collect a very special. Here are some dots. If we join the dots, we will see one of the engines on Sir Topham Hatt's railway. I wonder which engine it is. Let's join the dots and find out. Here we go. Around the tender and the cab. There's the dome. And a very tall funnel. Can you tell who it is yet? Around the buffers and the wheels. They are very big wheels. There's only one engine on Sodor with wheels that big. Do you know who it is? Yes, it's Emily. Hello, Emily.
Patience is a virtue, so it never hurts to take a little time to see. Sir Topham Hatt has taught you, and you know you ought to be as patient as can be. Happy waiting patiently. Don't get too excited, just try staying calm. Thinking for a minute saves you so much harm. Everything around you is rushing here and there. Life can be so simple if you make time to spare. Patience is a virtue, so it never hurts to take a little time to see. Sir Topham Hatt has taught you, and you know you ought to be as patient as can be. Happy waiting patiently.
It was the end of a busy day. The engines had been working hard. They were feeling pleased and proud. Except Henry. He was feeling ill. What's the matter with you, Henry? Thomas asked. My boiler's grumbling. Maybe it's grumbling at you, teased Thomas. That's not funny, hissed Henry. You just don't care. But Emily saw that Henry was leaving a puddle of water behind. She was worried. The next morning, Sir Topham Hatt arrived. Thomas, Percy, Henry, I want you to collect some freight cars and take them to the docks. Yes, sir, cried Thomas and Percy. Henry watched the engines puff away. He didn't feel well. Useful engines don't complain, Henry muttered. He was leaving water everywhere as he chuffed towards the coaling plant. When Emily saw this, she was more worried than ever. Then Thomas and Percy overtook Henry. Hurry up, Henry! Percy tooted. I can't go any faster, Henry chuffed miserably. You're just being lazy, teased Thomas. By the time Thomas and Percy reached the coaling plant, they had a naughty plan. Please, sir, said Thomas, Henry wants to take more freight cars. He is bigger, added Percy. The odd manager agreed. Meanwhile, Emily was talking to Sir Topham Hatt. I'm worried about Henry. Perhaps his tubes are leaking, replied Sir Topham Hatt. You'd better check. By the time Henry reached the coaling plant, Thomas and Percy had already left. Why did Thomas and Percy leave me so many freight cars, moaned Henry. They know I'm not feeling well. We'll still have to take them, said his driver. Henry chuffed and puffed and pulled his long line of freight cars. You can do it, Henry, encouraged his driver. But it was no use. Henry ground to a halt. Just then, Emily arrived. Are you all right, Henry? No, moaned Henry. I'm stuck. Henry's firemen uncoupled the heavy freight cars. Emily changed tracks and then hooked up to Henry. Oh, thank you, Emily, wished Henry. Emily and Henry puffed into the docks. Well done, Emily, said Sir Topham Hatt. Thank you, sir. Then he spoke to Henry. You were brave, Henry. You weren't well, but you still tried to pull the heavy freight cars. Thomas and Percy felt ashamed. We're sorry, Henry, said Thomas. We didn't think you were really sick, added Percy. Go back and collect Henry's freight cars, said Sir Topham Hatt sternly. Yes, sir, whispered Thomas. Soon Henry was mended and back at work. You're looking so much better, said Emily. Well, they mended my tubes, but they didn't even look at my brakes, my gauges, my squeaky wheels. Emily smiled. All in good time, Henry. Poor Henry. The children are going to school. Bertie has brought them to the station early. The children have to wait for Gordon. Listen, what's that? There's a train coming. It's a blue engine, so it could be Gordon. But look, this engine has got a tall, thin funnel. And it's only got 4 wheels. That's not Gordon. Do you know who it is? It's Edward. The children like seeing Edward, but today he is carrying coal. The children still have to wait for Gordon. Listen, what's that? There's another train coming. I wonder if this one is Gordon. It's another blue engine. But look, this engine has big water tanks over its wheels. And it's got the number 1 on its side. That's not Gordon. But do you know who it is? It's Thomas. And he's pulling Annie and Clarabelle. The children love seeing Thomas. But Thomas doesn't stop at this station. The children still have to wait for Gordon. Listen, what's that? There's another train coming. I hope this one is Gordon. It's another blue engine. This engine has a very short funnel. It's very big and very fast. It's Gordon! The children waited patiently for Gordon. And now Gordon will get them to school on time. Well done, Gordon.